Hello guys, welcome back to Shama Group of Companies. And before we proceed, I want to maybe say something that, as you have noted, we have changed our language from Kikuyu and we have decided to use English so that we can reach all our followers. And today, as normal, I'm not alone. I'm accompanied by our professor, and maybe let me give you time so that he can introduce himself. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Yes.
My name is Professor Joseph Dungu. I am a veterinarian and I am a farmer.
Yeah.
We want to welcome you, our viewers.
Yes. And so today, tell us where we are.
Yes, we are in Shama Holdings Farm.
Yes.
The location is in our calf pens, where we keep calves that are 0 to 3 months old. From the time they are born to the time they are up to 3 months old, we keep them in these pens.
Okay. And so tell us, at what time is the calf brought here?
What we do is, when we know that a cow is about to calve, and we shall talk about how we get to know that a cow is about to calve, we isolate it in a place where it calves, and once it calves, usually when it is calving, it is lying down. The calf comes out, and within 2 to 3 minutes, the cow starts and starts licking the calf. That process of licking the calf is very, very important. It is important to allow the calf to lick the calf for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is that you will hear the cow is humming as it is licking the calf. In a way, it is communicating to the calf that it has come out into the world and it has to get up and start looking for food for itself. The other reason is a more biological one, in that the process of licking stimulates the digestive system to start operating. So
the digestive system of the calf.
The digestive system of the calf, because from now on, it will start feeding, and that digestive system has to operate. The leaking also, it clears the mucus from the nostrils so that the calf can breathe. And within 20 to 30 minutes, the calf will stand up. Quite often we allow the mother to stay with the calf until the calf stands up. Sometimes it may not be possible, because if there is a heavy downpour, you may be forced to move the calf. But ideally, we should allow it to stay with the mother until it is able to stand. Now, once it stands, we bring it to these pens. And before they get here, we have already put a little hay on the floor of the calf pen. We try to put a little hay to reduce the risk of the calf sleeping, because it is still slimy and it has not dried up. So we put very little hay and then we allow it to stay. It will probably stay with that hay for 2 days, then it dries up. We put very little hay because hay sometimes can introduce ticks, because the hay is harvested from regions where they have ticks, and the risk that you could already introduce a tick-borne disease is high. That's why we put very little hay. Now, when the calf comes here, at that time, we take the mother to an isolation pen and milk her immediately. We milk as much as we can from the mother. Then we come and feed the calf. Now, that milk, it may be a lot, so we take, for example, 2 liters, and we feed the calf. Once we feed the calf, if it finishes, we add more until that calf is satisfied. That is the first milk. It is very, very important that that calf takes as much of the milk as possible and as quickly as possible after birth. And there is a reason behind that. When the calf is born, the digestive system easily absorbs the food that comes into the stomach. The milk that we have just gotten from the mother is called colostrum. And colostrum is very rich in nutrients. It also has some other defense factors that the mother has developed over time based on the health conditions that the mother has been exposed to.
Yeah.
Now, when we feed that colostrum to the calf, not only does it get the nutrients directly, but it also gets the defense factors into the body. And that is one way of protecting the calf when it is still very young.
Yes. And before we proceed, how do you feed it? Because, you know, it's new, it was not feeding in the stomach. Now, how do you feed the calf?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because you will, naturally, that calf should have started sucking from the teat of the mother.
Yes.
And the process of sucking, the milk comes out in a jug.
Yes.
Now you have milk in a container.
Yes.
You cannot just give it like that.
Yes.
We use two approaches, either of two approaches. One is, and this is the one we use quite a lot, is where we use one finger or two fingers, put them in the mouth of the calf, and as the calf is beginning to suck onto those fingers, you dip those fingers into the colostrum.
Yes.
When you dip the fingers into the colostrum and the calf is following, and it is still sucking, it starts sucking the colostrum through the fingers.
Yes.
Now, that process of sucking very little milk is also very important, because the calf has 4 stomachs. All cows,
have 4 stomachs.
Sheep and goats, they have 4 stomachs.
Yes.
The rumen, the reticulum, abomasum, omesum, and abomasum.
Yes.
Now, where the digestion and the absorption takes place is in the last stomach.
The last stomach. Now the milk has to pass.
The milk has to pass to the last stomach, and it should pass as quickly as possible. So when the calf is born, there is a channel which the colostrum has to go through. So if it gulps a lot, it will overflow that colostrum and get into the other stomachs, and that may not be good for the calf. So that is why it is important that even if you can feel that the calf wants to drink the milk on its own, during the first week, you should try as much as possible to make sure that it feeds through the fingers. The other process, you can buy a feeding bottle. Very much like the bottles that we feed children milk, but this now is a larger bottle. It has a nipple. You put the colostrum in that bottle and you feed the calf. But quite often we tend to use this
fingers,
this process of using the fingers.
Yes, and somewhere you have told me that you milk the cow immediately, the colostrum. Now, how do you do with the excess colostrum? Because you cannot feed all of it to the calf.
Yes. Once the calf has taken the first milk as much as it can, after that we would normally give it 6 liters of colostrum per day during the first month. And this cow, which you milked, probably produced 8 liters or 10 liters. And yet we are saying that this is very high quality milk because it has high nutrient, it has defense factors. Ideally, we should not throw it away. Quite often, these people will give it to dogs, or sometimes they can boil it, and the cud can be sometimes eaten. But what we do is we aliquot it into small portions of 1 or 2 liters, and then we freeze it. When we freeze it, it can be used later on, because within the first 7 days, that's when you have colostrum. After that, you may be able to now milk and sell that milk. The colostrum you stored, you can come back, remove it and warm it. Make sure that it is the same temperature as when you milk the cow, and you can mix it with other milk to feed on that calf or other calves. You have other calves that may be older. They can also benefit from that.
And before we move from that topic, how long will you feed the calf with your fingers so that it may now start taking by itself?
Ideally, you should make sure that during the first 1 week, you are using your fingers. Try as much as possible, even if it wants to drink on its own, try as much as possible to make sure that during the first 1 week, you are using your fingers, or you are using the feeding bottle. That is during the first 1 week. Now, at that time, when you are feeding using fingers, try as much as possible to make sure you don't dip the entire snout into the milk. Because this calf may be hungry and it wants to take as much milk as possible, and you're pushing your fingers down. Yet this calf is also breathing. In the process, it can breathe in some of the milk. And if it breathes some of the milk into the lungs, then it can fall sick. And that is a problem you want to avoid. Therefore, when you're using your fingers, make sure you are not dipping the entire snout. You are leaving the nostrils to be able to breathe as it takes the milk.
Now you have said something about diseases.
Yes.
Now